So when I confronted her and told her, like said, like, when did you pull mom's hair? And she kind of had that awkward laugh and denied doing it. And I told her, and she's, who told you? Wait, like, what? And then she said, yeah, I did. She said that she pulled her hair one night when she come home from the bar. So she was out drinking. You know, a lot of bad shit happens when people are drinking. You know, you release your body up to spirits, and then you wonder. I know, because I used to drink. Used to go to the bar and drink. And it was like you do things that you wouldn't normally do because they say you feel braver. Or is it just because you open energy up to jumpers, spirit jumpers, spirits, shadows that are unhealed, whether it be from your own traumas or your ancestors' traumas. I haven't drank alcohol. I haven't drank alcohol in over 3 years now. But sometimes I can feel it's like a part of the spirit. It's like a drawing you back in. It's that temptation. Pleasure Island. Yeah. You know, Pinocchio went to Pleasure Island. What's Pleasure Island? How many of you go to Walt Disney? Shit. Yep. Just drawing you in and kicking you off, drawing you in and kicking you off because it becomes an addiction. I said in a video a while ago, I come here to take on your demons and your traumas, because your demons, you detox your demons, you detox your traumas, you detox from alcohol and drugs and what have you. It's a detox. You're releasing what's attached to you, because those spirits, your ancestors, are trying to get you to help them and not keep repeating history. Kesarai tomre tai nu. Kishalakisum. So of course, if you live in fear, if you have fear of your awakening, then you're going to keep experiencing similar, if not the same things. And each person is part of each other. There's a lot of people outside as they're rolling. They say that animals can see what our eyes cannot, especially cats. So when you ask for something and you want a sign, and spirit, you receive a sign from that person and you deny it, then you're denying what you asked for. You're denying that help or guidance that you're looking for, in search of. saying is still there, like exploiting spirits for profit, to make a name for yourself. You were given those gifts so you could help those spirits move on, not exploit them. Right now, what I'm experiencing is like a whole lot of outer pressure. It's like air and a pressure. So if somebody mocks me or tries to shame me, you think I'm going to sit there and let you do that? I was at the mall the other day, and my ex-husband started, like, he was like being loud and just like cussing and freaking complaining about the stuff. That's all I heard. And I'll say it. Sometimes he does say racial slurs, but I know that what I'm witnessing is a spirit jumping in. Because I was just like, and he like everywhere he would do it, and I just like had enough. I just walked, like I just took my power back, and I just walked out of the store, and I just held it, and then I got out in the mall area, and there was just like, and a man was coming in at the same time, and he just like shit, what the fuck? So, and I just walked right out, and when he came out, like this just wasn't the first time. And then at Home Hardware, when he came out, I told him, "Don't you ever do that to me again," because he did it to me in Home Hardware too. And I just start walking away, and he was muttering on, and I just turned my hand and I said, walked out, and he stopped talking. Might not have been those words, but it's kind of an example of it. I don't care where I'm at. I'm going to speak. I was at a ball field. And I had somebody say, "Oh, that's enough, Tara." Like I was a child. Because I was defending myself, because I was called an idiot. A fucking idiot. And I was just a little loud. I guess you shouldn't have called me an idiot under your breath so nobody else could hear. And then when I was told, "All right, that's enough, Tara," I just told him off, and I started walking, and then it was just like it all come out and loud, and everybody just stopped and looked. And my grandchildren, my son's girlfriend's children, I call them my grandchildren, they come running. "Nanny, Nanny, Nanny." And when they come running, it's like, "Okay, you guys, Nanny's just got to go right now, okay? I love you guys." I speak in this language to my grandchildren. And I don't get shut down. I sing. I sang to my great niece here about a week ago. I was singing in a different language, in spirit language. And I stopped and she looks and goes, finish your song. And it was a few nights when I spent the night where my two great nieces were staying and they were rowdy and everything like that. And I started singing in spirit language and they calmed right down and they laid down and they were like, I like your singing. Keep singing. And those are the highlights. Those are my highlights. Because I know I'm coming out of the darkness. I'm walking with my shadows and talking with them and working things out. It's the shadow and the light working together and healing together. Because the light didn't want to see its own darkness, and the shadows didn't want to see its own light. And right now, there's a lot of right here in the solar plex. And there was a release when I did that from the solar plex up. Tell you, an awakening is not easy. It can be scary. It can be exciting. It can be fun, weird, strange, Twilight shit, right out to lunch. And people are going to look at you like you're psychotic, but don't start speaking your truth. Don't stop speaking your truth. Start speaking your truth and don't stop speaking your truth, even if people want to mock you. It's their own insecurities. Seriously, quiero puto kiss, Ram. Let me fill you in on something. Here, I'll help you. Right when I was going through that, I was feeling somebody, it was like somebody trying to strangulate me. Well, here, I'll help you because exciting. Go a little harder. I prepared myself for this. Pretty demonic, but you know, my windpipe could have almost been squashed a few times or crushed. Spirit was preparing me for ones like you. This is a spirit to spirit, so if anyone takes offense to that, then I guess it's what you're feeling. And it would be directed towards you. The hardest part is sitting with yourself. And I always encourage people, your best healer is you. Your best guide is you. Your best teacher is you. And when I say that, I'm advising you and encouraging you to go do a video with yourself. You don't have to put it on social media or anything. Do a video of yourself speaking to those people who you feel harmed you or excited you. Have that conversation. Look yourself in the eye. As if you're looking that person in the eye. Express those emotions. Express those feelings. And even at times, if you need a little bit more guidance, like, think of it as if you're giving someone else advice, someone who's going through a similar situation as you. Give them advice and then go back and watch yourself. Because we can put advice out there, but we seldom hear our own advice. What better way than to record a video of yourself expressing yourself and then going and watching it. Then you're actually, not only are you hearing it, but you're also seeing yourself. Because it's that between you and your shadows, you and your fears, you and your excitements, you and that person or situation where you felt vulnerable and you hated it. And you had wished or hoped that you could have done something differently. But fear had you locked in. Now's your chance to overcome that fear with yourself. It's not about changing it. It's about working through it. Having that conversation with yourself. It sounds strange and fucked up, but to the people who understand what I'm talking about, they're the ones that have experienced it. And that even if it's just a smidgen, that you're sinners, that you sin. That wasn't what was said. You were told that you live under sin. Not that you are a sinner or that you sin. You live under sin. And I say sin is systems integrated into society. So you're not the sin. You're not the sinner. The systems are the sins. Yeah. And when we all, in a sense, when we work for a matrix, that's where we would be considered a sinner. Because we're navigating. And we're not being rational about it because we're not listening to one another. We're also going through revelations, rebirth. We try rationalizing things that, sometimes science cannot prove. And it doesn't make it an illusion or imaginary. So makes it spiritual. I heard it makes it spiritual. Yes, I do hear you. Sometimes I can shut it down, but I never shut spirit down. Do I have people talk to me a lot? Spirit my ancestors, my family, the galactic, And yes, there'd be Dragarians and reptilians and the Greys and the angels and like the angels, archangels and the fallen angels, which a lot of the archangels are the fallen angels. I feel that. It's that part of, we all fall. And if we don't fall, we take a leap of faith. But it's where the fallen and the leap of faith need to reconcile. I took a leap of faith when I went through the black hole. Because I went through the black hole and I went through the sun. Easter of 2020, I seen through the sun. But in December of 2019, when I died, I went up to the sun. And it became a blue hole with many blue earth planets as far as the eye. But did I go through it? No. I turned around and came back because my purpose wasn't done. Tried many times to take my life. And the last one was in 2020 when I went through fucking hell. It's like, there's a big difference of seeing things and experiencing it. When you're raped on an energetic level, in like you're taken out of a physical world and put into a spiritual world where nobody could fucking hear you screaming for help for 2 hours straight. You're fighting for your soul. And then you feel like something's chewing at your vagina. Like it's biting at you like a bunch of hyenas or dogs. And I still didn't stop going through my spiritual awakening because it got fucking hard. People think they know me, but they know fuck all about me. So you want to chicken out and say, oh, it's hard? I know I'm not the only one that experienced stuff like this. People have experienced claw marks on their backs and stuff. And how do I know that it was real? That I was raped? Because when I went to the bathroom, I had actual semen coming out of me. And do you think I don't know who they were? What they look like? I swear one was like Genghis Khan. He was a big freaking, whether it was or not, like I'm explaining, it was a big, really big Mongolia. They had stood up, it would have been 6'9" or 7 foot. And the other one, if it had stood up, like it had long straggly hair and a friggin' long straggly beard, and if it had stood up, it would have been about 10 feet tall, 9, 10 feet tall. And they were on the couch, and then there were three others in behind my speaker. The only way I could see all that was because I was looking in my mirror, but my mirror wasn't facing it. The three behind the speaker, one looked like one looked like they were like a gray blue color, and they had like a blue uniform, tight uniform on, like scuba diving. They had longer black hair down to here, and their eyes were black. And then the other two, this one was in the middle of them. The other two, one was wearing a long black gown, and the other one was wearing a long white gown. The Gemini twins. Or was it Jesus and Yeshua? You know, I channeled, and it was like for a long time I was channeling that they were that ones were telling Lucifer, Lucifer, go home to Father. Father's dying. And I ended up back with my ex-husband. Not in a relationship. See, I know when there's the jumpers, the spirit jumpers, they're jumping. It's like, say about time travelers, or you're going through a multiverse. I'll tell you, it's pretty fucking trippy, but once you understand what it is you're experiencing, it's like, oh yeah, okay, just another day. Another day of fucked up. Crap. My therapist the other day, he was like, does that hurt? It's like, no, just mostly the head and the neck. I feel you right here. Here. Seriously. I must say, does it make you, or I must ask, does it make you feel like you're tough when you attack a feminine? Spirit leaves clues, breadcrumbs. You think things are coincidence or maybe synchronicities? Because I ended up moving into a house that John, who happens to be a Baptist, built. That's pretty eccentric too. Cool. But he worked with the tools he had, with the materials that he had available to him. And one day I was channeling, because they said like he had died, and that's how we got the house. and I was channeling. And I ended up channeling him. And he said that he had a heart attack in his room. And I was up the road, and this couple, they came up, and they were in the truck, and they were talking to me. And I said about that I had been channeling, because some people around here, like, they, what have you, I was channeling. And I told him that, like, John had told me that he died of a heart attack in his room. And they just looked at each other, and it's like, yeah. I say, like, how did you know that? So you're going to experience that stuff. It's going to seem trippy. But you are the medium. You are the bridge. That's why you're being woken up. You didn't just wake up randomly. Although sometimes it may seem that way. And sometimes it doesn't happen when you think it's going to, or in the way that it's going to. So if you can find someone who understands what it is that I'm explaining, they are who you should be going to seek guidance from. Because it's not about taking a pill. Because a pill is not going to fix it. It's going to put a Band-Aid on it, and it's going to become infected internally, and it'll be left to gangrene and fester. And when you have that blast of awakening, it all comes flooding in, and that's when you feel like you're gone totally in fucking sane. It's that part. You can do it the easy way, or you can do it the difficult way. Apparently, I like took the difficult route, as many others did, because you were meant to be a strong one. Because you are the ones that are here to take on the system, to wake people up out of the system, to be the teachers, to be the guides, teach others how to be teachers and guides themselves. That way, like, it's not about fighting over who's the leader. It's making the decisions for yourself, and then being able to make decisions with others. Because you all have the same goal in mind: healing, abundance. It's a part of, you want the peace, you want the harmony, you want the balance. Instead of looking and seeing yourself in others, look at yourself and see yourself. instead of using everything else to distract you. Go in a path somewhere in the woods and just scream it out if you have to. Doesn't make you crazy, it doesn't make you insane, and it doesn't give you a mental health label, because it's not a disease. It's an awakening, realizing your truth, revelations to realize the truth. And when they say about it, righteous, they make it like it's this big awful word, like nobody's worthy. But every time you make a right choice, which is righteous, right choices, think of it this way. Jesus, say, Yeshua, I'm going to say too. Yeshua hung around, was around people that understood. Jesus was there probably for the harder souls, but maybe he got mixed up in some of the stuff a little bit, but maybe he had to go deep to understand. You say he was crucified, but, I'll ask again, was it really a man or was it a woman? Because what's worse than a woman scorned? Didn't you say the sky went dark? See, they say that Mary Magdalene believed in some biblical text or beliefs that Mary Magdalene was the Holy Grail. And the Holy Grail represents the Holy Spirit. That's where you redeem yourself to get and become the Holy Grail. Through self, not trying to steal a Holy Grail from somebody else. Because it's, you think it's just been around now. But a representation of the Holy Grail. Jesus, Yeshua, what have you, was part of the Holy Spirit. He was still going through his ascensions. Spirit, would he be coming back? Did he fulfill if it was him, did he fulfill his purpose? Because it may have happened in other biblical texts where it was Jesus. And in others, it said that Jesus wasn't crucified. But does it specify who was? Think of it this way, okay? Mary Magdalene was stoned. How many of you knew that Mary Magdalene's friend made her a tiara? And Mary Magdalene would happily walk around with that tiara. She get bullied. Some people liked it. But jealous men did not. Jealous women did not, because they felt that their husbands were cheating on them with her. One version that you look at, you know, you got your dark and your light. Maybe one in the version, yes, they were probably both in a darker version. Maybe they were cheating on each other. In the light, they weren't. They had to experience it in order to understand it, go through it, to understand, in order to be able to come together and help the people. Through each of you. Not one of you were left out because you're helping in one way or another, even if you're told that you're not. People that come at me and the things I went through and the way things happened, things I've done and what have you. I am very grateful for those people that came into my life, because they taught me very valuable lessons. They taught me how to set boundaries, how to stand up for myself, and how to be honest, not just with myself, but the ones I love. They help me to see me again. I may not see my whole self right now because I'm still on this journey. I see when it's that person, but it's not that person. And I see them their face. I see their whole demeanor and their facial expressions, and just right before me. And do I get anxiety a bit? Yeah. But then it's like spirit comes in and says, you know what you're witnessing. You know what's going on. So it's like, yeah, okay. So, but I don't back down. I pick my battles. Some things, oh yeah, it strikes a nerve. And when people tell me that I'm gaslighting them because I responded to what they were saying, who's gaslighting who? Especially when you know it irritates them and that it's going to get a response, because that's part of their trauma. And you ought to be ashamed of yourself for playing on it. How would you like it? How do you like it when I give shit back at you? Don't feel good? Or, you just want to feel sorry for yourself and get angry at me all over again. What, it's okay for you to do it, but not me? This channel is a spirit to spirit. So if you're having any reactions to it, well, I guess you're connected to those spirits. Am I being cocky or egotistical? No. I'm being brutally honest. So I say it's like we're so far in denial of our own truths that we hold ourselves back. This is the second time that I've looked on the YouTube timer and it said 44. Because when I first had it on, I seen it at 44, and now this time that would be double 8 if you added them together. See, you wouldn't be given this. I know people say it's not a gift, it's a curse. No, it's actually a gift. You just need to know how to utilize it. See, you celebrate Veterans Day, and it's that part of lest we forget. Do you think that means? Do you like it's veterans? They may have gone and fought not just a physical war, but the mental war of it all. But you've also been fighting a war too. And it's the internal war. We get banged, bruised, beaten. We lose ourselves. And sometimes we physically lose ourselves from it because we've lost the battle. But you're losing the battle to yourself. You're fighting your own programming because you keep telling yourself the same things over and over again. Some will say affirmations. There's two ways of affirmations, negative affirmations and the positive affirmations. I don't. I have affirmations written on my bathroom mirror. I love myself. I trust myself. I honor myself. I don't know what's all on there now. And then it's like, I am light. I am love. I am light. Just, it's like, but I read that when I'm having a bad moment. I don't do it constantly. But I'm always constantly working with spirit. Whether I'm just sitting here in my living room and just it appears to others that I'm talking to myself. In a sense, you are talking to yourself, and it's okay if you reply back. Because it's between you and your spirit, whether others hear you or not. Just because they don't understand or because they're not seeing what it is that you're seeing, because you're on a different frequency, you're on a different wavelength, you're on a different way of living. Because you're beginning to understand what others don't right now. So you stand out. Don't try to hide yourself. You know, you have something on a wall and you can't hide it. What do? It stands out. You can't sit around and hide yourself because you're going to fester inside of yourself and you're not going to experience and you're not going to follow your purpose. It's not about sitting behind a desk going like this all day. Create for yourself. It's there. You just need to tap into yourself, overcome those fears. Look at what that shadow, at that moment that you're seeing that. What is it triggering in you? What does it resemble? Because it's spirit trying to tell you something that you're not seeing or you're hiding and running from. Because it's too hard to deal with or work through. So every speck of hope that you had, you just pushed it right back down in again. No wonder Hope's fucking pissed off. Do you know when they show images of Pandora's box, do you notice who they have at the bottom of it? What did they say about John? He was out there, right? Very eccentric, and everyone thought he was like way out to lunch. Anybody ever think of the way they would have talked to him? Do you know how alone you would feel? You're trapped in a body that you can't explain to others. I'm sitting with that. They said he was crazy. Oh, there's John again. Something again. Well, maybe it's a resemblance of, the way, maybe I'm being told it was the way that my sixth grade granddaddy was. And I say he was a grumpy old bastard. Might have wanted to give people the shirt off his back. And did not know how to set boundaries. And it cost him his life. See, in those times, people took advantage of Jesus, Yeshua. Was it Yeshua, the one who would run from the temple because he felt so in energy so intensely? So he had to get away from the people, and he needed and was it Jesus, the one that was flipping shit? You had one could be a bully, and the other one wouldn't say shit if they had a mouthful. Much like Jekyll and Hyde. The weak and the strength. The healer and the destroyer. Or, Yeshua was trying to heal, and Jesus was trying to wake people up. Was it like, okay, I have to say, they said about Lazarus, they said Jesus healed Lazarus. Well, was it Yeshua? Because when Jesus went home, he couldn't do it. Son of God, Son of Man. Or was Yeshua this is going to be sounding weird, but I got to ask this question. Was Mary Magdalene actually Jesus and Yeshua's sister? Like when you look at Cain and Abel and they ask sister? Or Cain and Seth and Abel was the sister? Was there a twin boy and girl? Did Mary Magdalene have both gifts? It's like Mary Magdalene became the balance. Was the balance and was misunderstood. Because she was stoned, right? And she had the tiara, right? She felt like she was a princess or queen. So what did they do? You know, I don't know if the crown that was said to have gone on Jesus was made from Virginia creeper because it had thorns. You walk on Virginia creeper. That friggin' hurts because there's thorns. When they get big, Virginia creeper can get that big around, even bigger. I recently, last summer, I had a friend of mine make me a crystal tiara out of Virginia creeper. But I didn't know that before this. I had it made. And then I read up about Mary Magdalene when she was younger. Now it's like almost have to ask, did Mary Magdalene have a baby at a young age? Because she was, well, maybe it wasn't through rape, but it was considered maybe the guy was older than her and the parents took the baby. I'm just asking these questions because you say about Lilith, Sophia. This is the part of a spiritual awakening. Coming through it and understanding and being able to just kind of ask those questions and allow yourself to feel it of when it's truth, because you will feel it in your own body. Myth is always my truth. So, if you're in your spiritual awakening, when it gets tough, reach out. Reach out to the community that you know will understand, because they are out there. And there's more and more of them every day. And you will become one of them. Just keep going. And know that, some things may seem scary, but once you get past that and you understand what it is that you're experiencing, witnessing, hearing, start seeing things from a different perspective. Come out of the overthinking and less observing, be more observant. Be more observant of your own body. And when you become more observant about your own body, you become more observant of everything around you, which you go from self-awareness and you become spirit awareness. Because spirit awareness is being aware of spirit and self, physical and spirit body. So people take this how they want, but I do encourage people that if you are going through your spiritual awakening, keep going. Because spirit wouldn't have put you in it and allowed you to go into it if you weren't ready for it. You fall down, get back up. You see something you can't explain it. Say what you've seen. If people mock you, that's their own insecurities because they're still living in denial of the truth. So with that being said, I'm sending you all much love, light, many blessings, most importantly, very good health. I'm going to do a clearing. Goem, desa kashri esruan. Eriokutuye, kisara. Oshuku moena, mia tutukutu kisre. Kiam de la kututri. Yakatotohum. Sikoi, yashala kisioi sakamute. Vuleto por it kuriom to kuriesen en no shunum mia takoem. Usitoi, tisakalamu to tayen le shunu ne yakoi. Sukulon. Della tuturu cre cruim curito tutusitan. Yeshalai sum. Eletore shoyaya. Kimoto curito tursinu mudena. Yanu. De sakatoto de sum. Yakatona shaniana krile tutori kribriero escurui turbiena yatatusi. Yesha. Bila kuturi. Isam. Susukui. Yala toto queremos una mesa no me quisiéramos grieta. Yam. Si tutai. Le blir shulio kame no. Ja, kom. Disse que tu politikim. Eshala sirui. Good. Yes, okay. So, yeah, it's right there. I'm feeling it. It's like it's breaking free. Like an umushla. Ha no koi. Era koi. Tatai sirui. Kele to redam. Mikoim, katai showisroi. I just got somebody had a hole in their heart. Si so soyai. Shalai saroyai no. Kiela dobria shalmia sarana yana. Oelayai. When you feel like there's a heaviness or there's darkness or what have you around you, and you feel like you're being pressurized, place your hands like this. You get anxiety, you feel just because what you're doing is you're asking those parts of spirit that's all coming in at the same time. You're actually keeping them at a distance so that you can work through them work with them one by one. You're working through the differences, but you're working with each other. And that's what you need to learn how to do. When I was in my trailer going through this, the way the energy was coming in and going out, it was just like in, out, holy fuck. It was off, it was never at the same time, and I had to learn how. It's like, yeah, I just want to keeping myself grounded because I just feel like I just want to float. See, I know on YouTube my stuff digitizes. It's like my great niece, about a week ago or something like that. My great niece, she gave me, not this year, but the previous year, she gave me some birds, sticker birds, and she gave me a plaque. The sticker birds, she came in at Thanksgiving, or yeah, I think it was. No, it was, I don't know. It was there once she came here, and she helped me put the stickers on. And I ended up painting a tree around the stickers, so it looked like the bird. They were parrots and budgies, stuff like that, and they were in the tree. And she was only like 2.5, 3 when she picked it out. Like her mother took her shopping and she picked it out. She did a damn good job doing it because it was like she knew what she wanted to tell me. Don't wait for opportunity, create it. So those little ones, they're smarter than you think. A lot of times they're smarter than we are as adults. Spirit will come to you through children, situations, opportunities, family members, friends, strangers, even the ones that hurt us. Because Spirit wants you to stand up for yourself. Not punching each other out, but not allowing someone or a system to walk all over you. Think of yourself when you were on the playground at school, in elementary school. Red Rover, I call my family over. And everyone is family. Even when you feel like you can't stand them and you hate them and everybody tells you to go away from them, you can distance yourself. How did it feel when you felt abandoned and left alone and unwanted? Some of you may say, I never had that because my family was good. Well, you're one of the lucky ones. But in every family, it has their past secrets. Some are just better at hiding them than others. Lying about it is the same as hiding it. Shit, Rolly. Leave that cat alone. Tuiski ne matotai asului. Ke matoai. Ke le tuturi sikiai. Ne matoai. Duri sikuruim. Oh, yeah. He understands. He listens to that more than he does English. It's like I'm feeling that. It's like speak. Somebody has, like, your throat chakra is so closed off. You have to speak up for yourself. It's not about like doing it in a way of fighting with one another. See if they like the sarcasm or the being criticized all the time. Throw their shit back at them. We're all like our parents. We're all like our ancestors. It's that part of, are we going to break the pattern? Are we going to keep hating on each other because our parents or their parents before them or their parents before them never got along? Or are we going to break the cycle and get over ourselves and our own ignorances and the limited beliefs is a big one. It's like I can feel so many people, they have so much to say. And I know it's not a lot. I like this stuff. It's not all, it's not all me bringing it forward. It's versions of you, spirit. You're telling yourself this stuff. It's like mirroring your spirit back to you. Your shadow, your light. Even that in between. Because it's trying to figure it out. But you got to meet in the middle to work through it. You can't bully someone into a negotiation. You can't play uncle. And I heard, yeah, and sometimes I heard, and mommy and daddy. You can't be beat into a submission with it. Like, it's not about being beat into a submission. You surrender to self so that you can surrender to spirit so that you can see people from a different perspective. If you're going to tote the biblical text, then you have to remember what Jesus or Yeshua, whichever one it was, that said, they know not what they say or do. Were you not saying that there were exorcisms being performed? Do you think Yeshua would have been doing that? Yeshua was a calm healer. Jesus was more assertive. Tougher. But sometimes more arrogant to his own detriment. See, these are things that we would never have thought to ask ourselves. We wouldn't question this stuff for fear of we'd be ostracized and stoned. So here's something ironic. I felt that in my body when I said the word ironic. It's like, what's she calling out now? But I seen someone, I know someone who on their back, it looks like somebody had whipped him. There were stretch marks, but it looked like scars of someone being whipped. And there were a lot of them. It went from the middle of his back across. And there were like 9, 10 of them. And that person is very close and dear to me. You know, have a look in your own family. And when taking into consideration all this stuff, look at what your family's been through, experienced, whether it be on the always pleasurable or undesirable. If you really look deep and you looked into your own ancestor line, you'd probably find a lot of resemblance. You know, they say you keep repeating just different characters. Different twists and plots. Just a lot of memory loss. Much the same as Men in Black. Click. Got to wipe your memory. And put lies in it. Watch Once Upon a Time, the series. You may become enlightened. And we all could, like, we learn something from it of what family really means. Because they went to hell and back for a family member. For each other. No man left behind. On the series, the evil queen was up against the savior. And the savior was her step-granddaughter, her granddaughter, because Snow White was the queen's stepdaughter. And they shared a child, the savior and the evil queen. The evil queen didn't want the savior to see the son. Tried to push her away, tried to alienate her. But in the end, they learned how to co-parent together. And they were enemies. Mortal enemies. The queen created the curse, and the savior broke it. But it all happened because of the son. Because the son found his biological mother. And then in the end, they all were able to live and exist together because they realized they were all family. And that included the realm of the untold stories. So do I refer to shows and stuff? Yes, because I see real life in it. I see it. It's not a fairy tale. And that's what Once Upon a Time was about. It was about what they perceived to be fairy tales, but it was people's stories. It was their lives. And there was a lot of darkness in it. So when you watch Walt Disney, do you see the darkness in it, the sadness? But in some of them, you see how they overcome it. Simba, yeah, in Alice in Wonderland, Alice went down the rabbit hole. And she realized when she was down the rabbit hole, she was actually experiencing it. It was a whole nother realm. And Alice was the savior of that realm, Wonderland. But she was from what we perceive to be the real world. But the worlds are all real. You just don't see it. You're seeing it all at the same time, but you don't realize it. That's why things can be one way 1 minute, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, what? That's different. In a spiritual awakening, things are not always going to make sense. Don't blow them off. See them for what it is and what it's trying to tell you. And your spiritual awakening will get a hell of a lot easier. Communication is the first thing. And the first part of it is being able to communicate with yourself, all parts of yourself, the light and the shadow. So when people say it's all love and light, no, because you can tell when they're in denial of that. They're just trying to tell themselves that, because it's another it's another narrative, another belief system, because in order to get to there, and I'm not saying that people aren't all love and light, because some of them come in with all the love and light and they haven't had anything happen to them. They're there to help the people heal after the ones like the people that are all love and light, they're the ones like Yeshua, and the ones that are all like, see, like you have to go through the darkness to get to the light. They're the tougher souls. They're the tougher ones coming in to take on the systems. So they come out hard because they went through all the trauma. They wore the brunt of things. They were the warriors. And I like holding this because it's grounding. And I found this in the woods, and you can tell that somebody had peeled the bark right off it. It's like it was put there purposely to remind me of who I am. I am a grounded soul spirit. I am connected to the heavens and the earth and the inner earth. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Some people won't believe that. You know, Cain was bound to the earth. Would that not be your root chakra? Would that not be the grounding? The sun would be the light of the sky, would be the light of the sky. And the Holy Spirit would be everything, all of creation. It's the universe. Well, you could have it's 2 top chakras because you have to have the daughter there. So you have the seer and you have the spirits. I don't hear the stuff in my mind. If I experience things in the mind, it's a manipulation. It's programming trying to get in. And it can be spirits, people trying to telepathically interfere in mind control. I hear others talking about, like, why doesn't she get money or ask for money? And somebody else said, because she says she's doing it for God, spirit. See, it's not much people need what we perceive to be money to live, because, you know, it's the way the system works right now. But it's not the monetary. It's just knowing that I've helped somebody, even if it was just a little bit. Because I know that that person is going to end up helping someone else just by helping themselves. So it's not about looking for a monetary or a materialistic thing. It's not about coming on here and asking you to be my follower or subscribe or like or share, comment. Because most of the people that watch me can't afford to pay for therapy or guidance. I hate that word therapy, because it's guidance, teaching you how to use the tools that are available within you. So if I come on here and I look a fool, I look psychotic or, evil, I like to evolve. The devil, it's like keeping you stuck, and the evil, it's giving you that opportunity to evolve, to show you truth, your own truth. Because evil is a taboo, right? People could affiliate evil being almost worse than the devil. But evil brings about evolution because it helps you to see the truth of what was already going on in front of you, but you were blinded. You were told that pain and suffering is the way it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be forever. It's supposed to be something that you learn from so you can evolve, move forward, go up Jacob's ladder. The 33 vertebrae. You know, they call it the serpent, the snake. But, you know, to certain affiliations, that's, don't see that. The dragon. Wasn't the dragon really a snake with legs and wings? The father was a dragon. Do you get it yet? You're curious, eh? Do you know there was a movie I watched? I forget the name of it. But it had was probably resembling of Cain, and he was building. So if Cain was pissed off because of what happened, what he's gone through, because of what have you, you know, I can see it. And who got angry with Cain? Maybe it was the mother. Because if it was the daughter that was killed, say the son of Adam and the daughter of Eve, somebody didn't like me saying that. Because Lilith had a daughter too. How many of you watched the series Lucifer? And at the end, Eve was escaping from Adam because he was all about control. And Eve didn't want to do it no more. In the series, Eve fell in love with Lola's daughter. So it was really it was a twist. But was that part of, we're looking at things today that, beyond, women don't want to be with a man who wants to be controlling. Some do, because they like that not having to be dominance but it's to the point where it's abusive. But that's the stuff people don't want to hear because that's blasphemy. I'm allowed to ask the questions. I'm allowed to wonder. But is that what I'm doing? Or am I actually understanding? The movie The Cobbler, Adam Sandler, where he puts himself in another man's shoes. And he ends up in a part where one of the men that dropped their shoes off and got fixed and he had them on, he went to the place and that guy had killed a woman. No, I've seen, like, I don't watch stuff like that, but I know it happens to men too. It's because past experiences throughout our generations, our ancestors and us, it was never healed. And it became that spiritual psychosis within us because it was endless torment for them. Constantly responding in protection of themselves. That's where the fighting comes. When you're constantly feeling like you have to defend yourself, when everyone should be able to be relaxing. When you're ready, you will feel that release on your back every time you have that spiritual death into the rebirth. It's not about throwing people away or giving up on people. Distancing yourself. But being the change for them to see. And if they don't see, then they're still living in the shadows. But still don't give up on them. Continue to distance yourself because you preach about biblical stuff. And they didn't give up on Saul. So if they didn't give up on Saul, why would you give up on yourself? Or why would you give up on someone else? You thought it was great that Yeshua or Jesus never gave up on Saul. So I have to ask, why are you giving up on others? They probably didn't even come close to the stuff, the atrocities that Saul did. Said he was brutal. Don't let fear defeat you. Don't let ignorance and greed control you. Face your shadows and walk around the corner together into the light. And you become balanced. You become whole again. And that's when you become free. Gila torwe kalema saleta. Devo totwe. Isla torwe. The harder the conflict, the more glorious the triumph. I love a person that can smile in the face of trouble. It's by Genodai. Yeah. Well, Thomas, the book of Thomas, not fond of Billy Graham, but he was a reverend, so I'm taking this as clues. It says God has given us two hands, one to receive, the other to give. We are not sinisters made for hoarding, but for sharing. That's weird, yeah. The game isn't over till it's over. I'm not playing games. And that was Yogi. And it says Berra. It's spelled Berra, and my name is spelled Terra. So that in itself says I'm still having my inner conflict. Start by doing what is necessary, then what is possible. And suddenly you are doing the impossible. A whole world looks to see what we will do. We cannot fail their trust. We cannot fail to try. Ironically, it's from a dead man. John F. Kennedy. If a man is a street sweeper, he should sweep streets even as Michelangelo painted, or Beethoven composed music, or Shakespeare wrote poetry. He should sweep streets so well that all the hosts of heaven and earth will pass to say, he lived a great street sweepers who did his job well. Oh, here lived a great street sweeper who did his job well. Martin Luther King. There are 773,692 words in the Bible, but not one we found the word worry among them. The conclusion is obvious. If worry is not in God's vocabulary, it should not be in ours. It's unknown. Give yourself something to work toward constantly. Written by Mary K. Ash. Well, you could say Mary Magdalene or Mother Mary. And Ash, they say Ash. I don't know if it's Ash Wednesday, Ash Friday, or Ash Wednesday. Because I don't do things by the biblical text. I do it straight with spirit. In this physical world, I never had the opportunity to learn a lot of things, to know what the things meant. I was accepted into St. Mary's University, and I thought about taking religious studies. But then I seen so much controversy and fighting going on within it that it was like I wanted to sort things out on my own instead of going somewhere where I was very unsure that I was going to be getting the true story or the manipulative version. And the church, the school, like I said, was St. Mary. Coincidence or synchronicity? Adopt the pace of nature. Her secret is patience. If you want happiness for an hour, take a nap. If you want happiness for a day, go fishing. If you want happiness for a year, inherit a fortune. If you want happiness for a lifetime, help someone else. Shit. Oh, man. Oh, spirit doesn't like this guy. Ah, shit. Results. Why, man, I have gotten a lot of results. I know several thousand things that won't work. Thomas Edison. Who didn't like Thomas? Who was not fond of Thomas Edison? Who did Thomas Edison fuck over? Shit. Nikla Gianoyana Sina Moshalana. Dekotane. Usukoi. Yalhatana Nuku Hamashayano Goyanata Tursite. It's like, Michael, Yachnorisitu Purite. Yatana. Skursitu Mutana Kisata. Two brothers head to head. Holy snapping our holes. Oh, shit. How many of you know that Nikola Tesla's father was extremely religious? He was a priest or a priest, I believe it was. Something like that. He wasn't fond of Tesla because Tesla wanted to be an inventor. He believed in energy, and that's taboo to the church. And Thomas Edison, oh fuck, lied about Nikola Tesla's work. But lots of people know that. This is a spirit to spirit, and what Dice que tu kishkamotsia to stuko I know ya leam. Frisuto. And his brother became a priest into the religion. No, they see, I know. Mushuke. Wait. Having remember me sharing a story about me being at Peggy's Cove. I'm realizing now. I was at Peggy's Cove one day with my dad, and I had my staff, and I had my cloak, and my dad and I were walking up to go into the restaurant, and this elderly lady, and I thought she was speaking Ukraine. It's one of those languages. And this woman, she started talking to me, and she kept kind of pulling on my sweater. And every time I try to walk away, like I kind of talked to her and I couldn't understand her. And she tugged on my sweater and then speaking to me in this foreign language to me. I thought it was Ukraine, but now I'm understanding now that I believe it was more of the spirit of Tesla's mother. Because Tesla was very close to his mother, and he's seen his mother. He was across the waters, but he's seen his mother was dead. He's seen her. She came to him. And when I was there, this woman, she was tugging, and she wouldn't let me go. And all of a sudden, I turned to her, and I spoke in her language because we had a quick conversation. And I thought it was Ukraine, but now I'm understanding whatever language Tesla's mother spoke, I was speaking with her spirit. And then the next day, I went to what's called Five Islands. Fifth dimension, And I found this. It wasn't there when I sat down. Like I went there and I was this woman out of nowhere. She appeared out of nowhere and she had a dog with her. And I stood there and I was talking to her and I started speaking in a language, in spirit language. And she was very interested. And then we stopped talking and she started walking away and I turned and she had gone. And there was nowhere that she could have disappeared to because it was all open. And I went and I sat down in a chair, like where there's a fence, and I was looking out over the ocean. When I got there was nothing there. And then all of a sudden, I just happened to look down. And this was there. Like we thought it was, my ex-husband thought it was the Ukrainian flag. Which flag is yellow and green? Which flag is yellow and blue?
The Ukrainian flag.
Which flag is green and blue? There are none really that are. Oh, shit. That weird. Oh, no, that's not it. Yeah, it's really I'm thinking that it represents heaven and earth. Is what it must be representing. But I brought this home. I just it won't work. One, turite. Yeah, shit, get out there. I just oh shit. Dang. Right. Just checking something out. Oh no. So I brought it home. At first I thought I was supposed to keep it there, and they said no. So it wasn't the first time I experienced something like that. I was at my apartment building and I went outside, and this woman was sitting in the back. I was taking my garbage. Just excuse me one sec. Yep, I felt that. I see Nikki Bode. Just give me one sec. No, you can't go out rolling. I'm just turning my lights on, everyone. Instead of putting out the noise and get up there. Oh shit. There we go. Now, Rolly, don't you knock that off there again. Okay. I'll be honest, I've been in my pajamas all day, so I'm in my pajamas. Yeah, I just got up at the window and I could feel something at the window. That's fine. Wherever you go with all your heart. A man may die, a man may die, nations may rise and fall, but an idea lives on. Another John F. Kennedy. back when I was in my trailer, I was actually trailing with John F. Kennedy, and a lot of interesting things come out. I was like, oh shit, man. Like, really? Like, we all knew certain things, but that's for another day. Life loves to be taken, but the label and told, I'm with you, kid. Let's go. African American poet. (1928). Who said the phrase, here's looking at you, kid?
Humphrey Bogart. According to Wikipedia, here's looking at you, kid, a line spoken by Humphrey Bogart in the 1942.
No, that's not it, but 1928, it's like I'm supposed to be remembering something. What did Nikola Tesla invent in 1928?
Here's information from MIT.
Oh, yes. Apparatus for aerial transportation. Oh, shit! Fuck! Put it in the way. Oh, crap! 1 second. Hey, Tesla, could this be it? Yeah, this was up atop of my water tower. The water tower across from my property. Oh, shit. And if you look right there, you can actually see the being sitting up in it. That's when it was, I caught it vibrating, and I must have caught it. It must have stopped vibrating long enough, and I got this, and I didn't even know that I had that picture until one day I was looking through my pictures, and that was there. Holy shit, man. Oh, que maravilha. Excuse me. So, aerial transportation. And that was in he had it in 1928. So it was that. Apparatus for yeah. You know, I said back a while ago that my 6th grade granddaddy was building ships. You know, I often wonder what type of ships he was building. And it's like, get the fuck out of his pond. So it's, I'm with you, kid. Let's go. Okay, I want to see the ship here. I already seen it over there. And holy shit, is it ever nice. It's looks like it's gold and bronze. Like the more of the darker bronze. It was like it was just really, I wasn't the only one that's seen it. And the other person that's seen it probably wouldn't admit to seeing it anyway. So, but I got the picture. I may not have got it showing because it was so bright that it was like, holy shit, man. You had to put a pair of binoculars on to see it. But it was lit up. Success seems to be connected with action. Successful people keep moving. They make mistakes, but they don't quit. Success. To think clearly without hurry or confusion. To love everybody sincerely. To act in everything with the highest motives. To trust God unhesitantly. So with that being said, I'm sending you all much love. Oh, shit. They're saying, no, not yet, not yet. It's okay. Circumstances may cause interruption and delays, but never lose sight of your goals. Prepare yourself in every way you can so that you can make the most of the opportunity when it occurs. Don't look for something, because when it's ready, it will come to you. And with that being said, I'm sending you all much love, light, many blessings, most importantly, very good health to anyone and everyone wanting, willing to receive and accept. I want you all to be big, bold, brave. Most importantly, be yourself. Be your authentic self. Be true to yourself and others. Be kind to yourself and others, and know that you have more strength than you can comprehend at times. So if you're on your spiritual awakening journey, don't quit. Reach out, because there are many of us. Sending you love. Have a great weekend.